GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action. Live from the GMNA News Center, this is the Lunch Break News Hour.
Good afternoon, I'm Jordan Parker. Our top story tonight, a man in his 30s critically wounded in a Scarborough apartment shooting, and we'll have the latest on the moderate traffic delays across the city. Later, we'll spotlight Elysium Investments' new 70-story rental project. Over to you, Nathan.
The Ultimate Curly Hair Experience 2026 opens Saturday morning at the Metro Toronto Convention Centre, showcasing live workshops, product demonstrations, and celebrity stylists specializing in natural curls.
Tickets range from $25 to $50, available online and at the venue with early bird discounts expiring yesterday. Doors open at 9 a.m. each day.
Featured speakers include renowned curl researcher Dr. Maya Patel, author of Embrace the Wave, and influencer Lucas Curl Boss Ramirez, presenting a panel on sustainable haircare practices.
Lots to get to, let's begin as we dive into today's news and keep you informed throughout the lunch break. Here are our top stories.
Police responded to a shooting at an apartment on Lawrence Avenue East and Overture Road after 9 p.m., leaving a man in his 30s wounded. A search for at least one suspect is underway. Dev Showri has the full story.
Just after 9 p.m. on Saturday, a man in his 30s was shot inside an apartment building at the corner of Lawrence Avenue East and Overture Road. Police arrived on scene within minutes, finding the victim with multiple gunshot wounds. Paramedics rushed him to hospital, where he remains in critical condition. Officers secured the building, collected evidence, and began a neighborhood canvass. At least one suspect is believed to be involved, and Toronto police have launched a citywide search to locate the individual or individuals responsible. The investigation is ongoing, with detectives reviewing surveillance footage and speaking to residents. No arrests have been made at this time. Dev Showri, GMNA News, Scarborough.
Municipal leaders have converged on Ottawa for the Association of Municipalities of Ontario's annual conference, bringing thousands of representatives to demand predictable, stable funding for their communities. Ainsley Booth has the full story.
Municipal leaders are converging on Ottawa this week for the Association of Municipalities of Ontario's annual conference, a gathering that brings together thousands of municipal officials from across the province. Delegates are on the streets and in meeting rooms demanding a more predictable funding formula from the provincial government, warning that current uncertainties strain local services. The conference, slated for the week of August 16th to 22nd, 2026, provides a platform for mayors, councillors, and senior staff to coordinate their advocacy. Organizers say the focus this year is on securing stable, long-term financing that can sustain essential infrastructure and community programs. Officials also note rising expenses for road maintenance, transit upgrades, and affordable housing initiatives, arguing that without reliable cash flow they risk delaying projects. Ainsley Booth, GMNA News, Ottawa.
An unidentified woman died after slipping into Lake Ontario at Jack Darling Park in Mississauga, a popular waterfront recreation area. Police are confirming details. Ainsley Booth has the full story.
Emergency crews were called to Jack Darling Park just after noon on Saturday after a passerby saw a woman slip on the boardwalk and plunge into Lake Ontario. Witnesses say she struggled in the water before nearby swimmers pulled her to shore. Peel Police Service arrived within minutes, administered CPR, and later confirmed she did not survive the incident. Paramedics arrived shortly after, moving the victim to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. The park, a popular lakeside recreation spot, was temporarily closed while investigators secured the scene and collected evidence. No foul play has been indicated, and authorities are asking anyone with additional information to come forward. Park officials said they will review safety measures along the waterfront. Ainsley Booth, GMNA News, Mississauga.
5 people, including 2 children, were hospitalized after a gray Toyota BZ4X struck a gray Dodge Caravan on Shepherd Avenue East near Kennedy Road just after 1 p.m., leaving one in critical condition. Dev Shohri has the full story.
Gray Toyota BZ4X and a gray Dodge Caravan collided just after 1 p.m. on Shepherd Avenue East near Kennedy Road, sending 5 occupants to hospital, including 2 children. Emergency crews arrived within minutes, extracting the drivers and passengers from both vehicles before transporting them to nearby hospitals. 1 adult remains in critical condition while the other 4 are listed as stable. Police have cordoned off the roadway and are conducting a collision investigation, checking for factors such as speed, visibility, and possible impairment. Witnesses reported hearing a loud crash and seeing smoke rise from the front of the sedan. Traffic on the busy east-west arterial is being rerouted while investigators work the scene. Dev Shohri, GMNA News, Scarborough.
The University of Toronto Faculty of Law announced a laptop ban in select courses, prompting student opposition over concerns it restricts note-taking and digital resource access. Ainsley Booth has the full story.
The Faculty of Law at the University of Toronto has unveiled a draft policy that would bar laptops from a select group of courses, beginning this semester. Under the proposal, professors in certain foundational and seminar classes would require students to rely on handwritten notes or printed materials. The move has sparked immediate pushback from the student body, who argue the restriction hampers their ability to take rapid notes, reference case law online, and use accessibility tools. Law students have organized petitions and held informal meetings with deans, demanding a revision that accommodates digital learning needs. Faculty officials say the ban aims to reduce distractions and encourage deeper engagement with texts, though they acknowledge the concerns raised. Ainsley Booth, GMNA News, Toronto.
Later we'll cover the police hunt for a missing pilot and his blue single-seat plane, a story you can't miss. We will be right back. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news.
Welcome back. Ontario Provincial Police, alongside Kawartha Lakes and Durham Region authorities, have launched a search for a missing pilot and a blue single-seat aircraft, registration FOFC, that failed to return to Oshawa Airport. Ainsley Booth has the full story.
Police have launched a coordinated search for a missing pilot and a blue single-seat aircraft that never returned to Oshawa Airport on 15 August 2026. The plane, registered FOFC, was due back after a local flight but failed to land, prompting the Ontario Provincial Police to join forces with authorities in Kawartha Lakes and Durham Region. Search teams are canvassing the airfield perimeter, nearby fields and the surrounding waterways, while aerial units sweep the sky for any sign of the aircraft. Officials say they are following the pilot's last known flight path and are checking local farms and forested areas for wreckage. Anyone with information is asked to contact the police. Ainsley Booth, GMNA News, Oshawa.
Ontario will launch a cash bail system on Monday, requiring defendants to post an upfront security deposit, a move critics say breaches constitutional rights and is already facing a legal challenge. Simona Konkwo has the full story.
Ontario is set to launch a cash bail system this Monday, requiring anyone charged with a crime to post an upfront security deposit before release. The new rule replaces the province's earlier practice of releasing defendants on promise to appear, and it applies across courts province-wide. 2 advocacy groups have already filed a legal challenge, arguing the cash requirement infringes on constitutional protections. Officials say the change aims to ensure court attendance and public safety, while critics warn it could keep low-income people detained simply because they lack cash. The rollout will begin on August 17th, with pilot procedures being tested in several courthouses. The legal battle is expected to unfold in the coming weeks. Simone Okonkwo, GMNA News, Toronto.
Ontario's first midwifery clinic in East York Don Mills adds an on-site psychiatrist, giving new mothers faster mental health support during pregnancy and postpartum. The partnership with Michael Garron Hospital has served over 100 mothers. Ainsley Booth has the full story.
The new clinic on Danforth Avenue merges midwifery care with psychiatric services, giving expectant and postpartum women direct mental health support. Operated by the Midwives Clinic of East York Don Mills in partnership with Michael Garron Hospital, the center opened in early 2025 and already has seen more than 150 mothers. Women can meet a licensed psychiatrist during routine prenatal visits or after delivery, eliminating the need for separate appointments. Staff say the model aims to shorten the wait time for mental health care and keep families in one familiar setting. This collaboration marks Ontario's first midwifery practice to embed a psychiatrist on site. The facility also offers group counseling and referrals to community resources, rounding out a comprehensive postpartum program. Ainsley Booth, GMNA News, East York.
Ontario's Court of Appeal has cleared Premier Doug Ford's government to dismantle 19 kilometers of protected bike lanes in Toronto, overturning a July 2025 ruling that halted the removals. Dev Shohri has the full story.
The Ontario Court of Appeal has cleared the Ford administration to pull down 19 kilometers of protected bike lanes across Toronto. The panel said the province's authority to modify municipal streets outweighs the earlier injunction that halted the work in July 2025. City officials had argued the lanes were essential for cyclist safety, but the court found no legal barrier to the province's plan. Ontario's transport minister said the changes will improve traffic flow and accommodate future road projects. Removal crews are expected to begin next week, targeting sections on major corridors from the downtown core to the East End. The decision reverses the July 2025 ruling that had kept the lanes in place, reopening the debate over the city's cycling network. Dev Shohri, GMNA News, Downtown Toronto.
An external review finds the 25 Toronto Metropolitan University protests and subsequent student arrests signal a deteriorating campus climate linked to the Israel-Hamas conflict. Ainsley Booth has the full story.
An external review panel released its findings on the campus unrest that unfolded in 2025, concluding that the two student protests and subsequent arrests were clear signs of a worsening climate at Toronto Metropolitan University. The demonstrations erupted shortly after the Israel-Hamas conflict began, with students gathering on the main quad and in lecture halls to voice opposition to the war. Police intervened, resulting in several arrests and heightened tensions across the campus. The panel's report cites a pattern of polarization, increased activism, and strained relations between students, faculty, and administration as contributing factors. University officials have acknowledged the review and said they will consider its recommendations. Ainsley Booth, GMNA News, Toronto.
Let's get a look at your afternoon forecast with the weather team right after this.
A weakening ridge gives way to a southerly jet, setting the stage for a calm but shifting afternoon. On this date, Toronto once burned to 31.2 degrees Celsius in 2007, a peak that rode a lingering high-pressure dome and an entrenched southwest flow. The opposite extreme fell to 13.6 degrees Celsius in 2014, when a polar vortex dip pushed Arctic air deep into the Great Lakes region. Normal August readings hover around 26 for the high and 16 for the low, so today's mild 22 sits comfortably between those historic bounds. The live radar canvas is clear across southern Ontario, with no echoes from the lake effect bands to the city core. A subsiding air mass dominates as the low-pressure system to the west sits aloft, while the jet stream at 96 km per hour from the west slices the atmosphere, suppressing convection. With no moisture to feed storms, the map will stay empty through afternoon and evening, allowing us to shift to today's outlook. At noon, Toronto sits under a clear sky with a temperature of 22 degrees Celsius, humidity 73%, and an easterly breeze at 19 km per hour. Pressure is falling, signaling an approaching low that will edge in from the west later this afternoon. Overhead, the jet stream races westward at 96 km per hour, acting like a conveyor belt that will steer any future disturbances away from the region. The air will warm to a high of 23 by afternoon before slipping back to 22 as clouds drift in near sunset. UV index 6 will peak around 3. No wind gusts exceed 25 kilometers per hour and there are no active alerts. With system remaining to the west, evening will finish mostly cloudy but dry, setting the stage for tomorrow's change. Monday opens with a building ridge that lifts temperatures to a high of 26 and a low of 18, keeping skies clear. Tuesday brings the low-pressure system, nudging the jet stream south and raising a 30% rain chance by late afternoon while the high stays at 26 and the low at 17. Wednesday remains on the cusp with a 20% chance of rain and a warm high of 27 as the jet stream lifts again. Thursday the ridge returns, delivering clear skies and a steady high of 26, low 16. Friday cools under lingering high pressure, offering a clear day with a high of 23 and a low of 16, ending a week of modest swings and isolated showers. And that's your weather. Remember, the lunch break is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic's moderate, the Blue Jays chase a wild card spot, and Reggae Junkies beach where boat ride hits the scene. We will be right back. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news.
Subway service on Line 1 between St. Clair and York Mills stations is suspended for track work. Trains will not run until service resumes at 6 a.m. tomorrow, so riders should plan for alternate routes. The Scarborough RT also remains out of service between Kennedy and McCowan while a track investigation continues. On the bus side, Route 71, 75, 89 and 171 are running detours through downtown. GO commuters face several disruptions. The Lakeshore West train is delayed, the Barrie line is closed for construction with shuttle buses covering the gap, and the Kitchener line runs partially closed with buses filling the missing segments. The UP Express is suspended for the weekend, and shuttle buses are in place at Union Station. On the road, Parliament Street between Distillery Lane and the CN Railway operates with a lane closed for construction. Traffic is moving, but expect a short slowdown. Expect the afternoon to clear as the lane work continues at a pace.
Kehlani lights up the RBC Amphitheater tonight with the Kehlani World Tour, a must-see R&B showcase for anyone craving high-energy live music. Just a few blocks away, the India Day Festival rolls through Nathan Phillips Square all day, offering vibrant parades, dance performances, and street food that turn the city into a celebration of Indian culture. If you're looking for a laid-back vibe, hop on the Reggae Junkies boat ride at 176 Cherry Street, where reggae beats and lake breezes combine for a floating party you won't forget. For families and food lovers, the Toronto Summer Celebration at Harbourfront Centre continues through the weekend, with craft vendors, global bites, and kid-friendly activities right on the waterfront. And keep an eye on next week when the Heritage Sounds Music Festival hits Brampton, promising 50-plus artists across multiple stages for a weekend of genre-spanning discovery. And now here's Marcus with sports.
Toronto's teams are fighting for momentum as the season's final stretch looms. The Blue Jays sit just one game behind the final American League wildcard, keeping the playoff race alive as the regular season winds down. Every series now feels like a must-win, and the bullpen's consistency will dictate whether Toronto clinches that elusive berth. Ricky Tiedeman's debut caps a wave of trade deadline moves that have already reshaped Toronto's roster. The new arms and depth pieces have turned close games into wins, proving the front office's aggressive strategy is paying off and positioning the Blue Jays for a deeper postseason run. Nicholas Dorsch's first goal ignites Toronto FC, ending a 12-game winless stretch and delivering the club's first victory in over 4 months. The breakthrough restores confidence to a shaky defense and gives the coach a platform to rebuild momentum heading into the final league fixtures. Stay tuned, the fight for Toronto's trophies is just beginning.
Thanks, Marcus. Elysium Investments at the corner of Isabella and Sherborne just cleared a major hurdle. The firm has secured city approval for a 70-story, 599-unit rental tower that will rise above the historic streetscape. The plan restores 2 designated heritage buildings, keeping their character intact while protecting every existing rental household on the block. With rapid transit stations just steps away, the new purpose-built homes will give families and newcomers affordable, long-term rental options right where they work and play. It's a concrete example of how thoughtful development can preserve our past, boost housing supply, and keep the neighborhood vibrant. That's why Elysium matters to Toronto, building homes without erasing the stories that already live here. Coming up, we'll break down Stellantis's possible Brampton plant closure and hear from the union, plus the teen dirt bike case. Stay tuned. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news. Toronto's Nathan Phillips Square is buzzing with the India Day Festival, a free celebration marking the nation's 80 independence with vibrant performances, a grand parade and family-friendly cultural activities. The community is gathering to experience the colors and sounds of India. Carl Dumont is there. Carl Dumont.
Thanks, Jordan Parker. I'm standing on the cracked granite of Nathan Phillips Square, the air humming with the scent of sizzling samosas and the bright flutter of Indian flags draped over the iconic Toronto sign. Around me, families spread on picnic blankets, children chase bubbles, and a line of brass bands rehearses a lively Bhangra rhythm that spills onto the street. The grand parade is set to roll out at 2 p.m., and already a convoy of colorful floats, elephants painted in gold, dancers in silk saris, and a marching troupe of schoolchildren chanting Jai Hind waits for the signal. Vendors line the plaza, offering mango lassi, chaat, and fragrant jasmine garlands, while a stage hosts classical sitar performances and Bollywood dance crews that draw cheers from a crowd that spans generations. This celebration marks India's 80th Independence Day, turning Toronto's downtown into a living tapestry of heritage and community pride. It's a reminder that culture thrives when we share it together. Carl Dumont virtually at Nathan Phillips Square.
Welcome back. Stellantis is weighing the shutdown of its Brampton assembly plant, prompting Unifor to confirm the consideration following comments from Union President Lana Payne. Simone Okonkwo has the full story.
Stellantis is weighing a complete shutdown of its Brampton assembly plant, a move that would halt production of several vehicle lines. Union officials say the possibility emerged after President Lana Payne addressed members, confirming the automaker's serious consideration. Workers gathered outside the plant's main entrance, hearing the news for the first time, while management representatives declined to comment on site. The plant, which has operated for more than 3 decades, employs thousands of staff across the region. As the conversation continues, both the company and Unifor say they will keep dialogue open to explore alternatives before any final decision is made. Local businesses nearby anticipate the ripple effects on traffic and suppliers. Simone Okonkwo, GMNA News, Brampton.
Peel Regional Police have charged 3 youths, ages 13, 15, and 17, with reckless dirt bike riding after incidents across Brampton neighborhoods. The investigation continues. Tobias Kwan has the full story.
Police say 3 teenagers, aged 13, 15, and 17, have been charged with reckless dirt bike riding after a 2-day investigation across several Brampton neighborhoods. Peel Regional Police responded to multiple reports of riders weaving through streets, ignoring traffic signals and endangering pedestrians. Officers gathered video and eyewitness statements, leading to arrests on the afternoon of August 14th. The youths now face charges that could result in court appearances, driver's license suspensions, and possible fines. Police reminded the public that off-road vehicles are prohibited on municipal roads without proper permits and urged riders to keep to designated trails. The case remains open as investigators continue to review additional footage. Tobias Kwan, GMNA News, Brampton.
Thank you, Toronto, for joining us on the lunch break. Today's look at the new midwifery clinic with an on-site psychiatrist highlighted the province's focus on mental health support for new mothers. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter to you. Stay safe and see you then.